All right, welcome back to episode 30 of the hops&bops podcast. I'm producer Tom.
I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
And today we have brought to you a couple of classics. We have brought you... actually, this is a bit of a themed recording. So in these next 3 episodes, I've called it the Yankee Swap.
Oh, the Yankee Swap.
Yes,
I like
yes. So our I came up with the idea of a Yankee Swap in the style of we have these lists of albums to review later on a file in our Google Drive, and I thought it would be cool if one of us picked an album from someone else's list of albums. So this one is the one that I picked off of Joe's list.
Correct.
And we're doing Temple of the Dog self-titled.
Yes.
Temple of the Dog.
One and only.
Yes.
One and only.
Yeah, it's their only album, right?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Yes.
And
So
we're
okay.
we're gonna pair it with Tribus's Mango Peach. Is it Zazz?
Zazz, yes.
Zazz.
So-
Z-A-Z-Z.
So you picked the album off my list.
Yes.
And then I picked a beer to bring.
Yes,
So-
that's how this pairing works.
And that's how it's going to work for the next 2 episodes.
Yep.
Little mini series.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Super excited. So Tribus in Milford, we did their adult content
That's right, yeah.
beer back. It was the Revolution album too.
It's episode 9?
Was it 9?
Sure.
6? 9? No.
No, 6 was Thriller.
Yeah. I think it was 9. 11? No, 9. It was 9. 9.
Big money, big money, big
Yep. So we're back, and I brought one of their sours. So we've been talking about sours lately here, and
I do like sours.
you like them. I am not a sour guy. I'm starting to get into them slowly but selectively.
Okay.
And this is one of the sours that I love. This is really good. I do think Tribus does excellent with sours.
Yeah. So far, the ones you've brought to us have been good.
Yeah. So this is Zazz. It's a series of sours that they put out, and each one is like a different pairing of fruits. So like they have a cherry lime Zazz, they have a blue lemon Zazz.
That's clever.
Yeah, they do lemon raz, strawberry. But since I'm not like a cherry and berry kind of guy, I haven't really gravitated towards them until this one came out. This is Mango Peach. I love mango. I love peach.
Yeah.
And every single
I feel
Zazz.
like it should be a salsa.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
Right?
So you
They
think
should.
you could drink this while eating mango peach salsa?
Or they should pair up with like Tostitos and make a...
Yeah, it's like those food pairings you
Yeah,
see
I
on...
like
yeah, it's like, it's like lemon
all right.
raspberry tart. It's like, this one's definitely mango peach salsa.
Yeah. Tribus, if you end up doing that, remember who came up with the idea.
Yeah, give us cred.
A little nod. Every Zazz has a hint of lemon too, so I love mango, peach, and lemon. So I'm like, let me give this a shot. I love it. It's a great beer. It is a 6% fruited sour, 16-ounce cans. Let's do it, huh?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Let's do it. Nice crack.
Yeah, nice crack.
Love me some nice crack.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm on record. Tribus is my favorite brewery, so a little
Bias.
little bias here, but
It's all right.
no, I love it because they do make really great beer. I live 4 minutes away, so it's always a good time. Yeah, so it's a nice color.
Solid urine sample.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it looks a little pea-like, but that's okay.
Yeah, highly recommend taking a whiff before you taste.
The smell took a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a
Smelled
while to
weird
reach
at
my
first.
nose. Okay.
There you go.
Ooh. Interesting.
Ooh, you know what? That is really nice.
Yeah, isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it. A lot of sours have that kind of throw up initial taste.
I love how we've just coined it. The throw
Up taste, But these don't. They're sour. I don't know, the way they make their sours don't have that, which is why I like theirs more. For me anyway.
Yeah. No, it's...
Yeah, that initial hit of ew is not there in most sours.
Yeah.
Like
It's an interesting flavor though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got those fruity textures that really pop out in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a little bit of that kind of bad aftertaste at the very, very end, but I think the majority of it really does have those fruity textures to it. That's really nice.
Yeah. So that fruity taste, I think, comes from 𝙕𝙗𝙖𝙘𝙝 hops. That's the hop that's in it. It brings tropical fruit flavors to the beer.
Okay.
And then it's brewed with mango, peach, and lemon, like I said.
I think it's
it's
the
lemon.
lemon.
Yeah, I was
think
gonna
it's
say.
It's the lemon. It's gotta be the lemon.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
And that's something that's consistent in all the Zazzes. And like, I don't know, I love the label, like the shades of orange. It's cool. Each Zazz has the same logo, but they're obviously different colors and different labels. So it's nice when they're like all like laying out together. Definitely a nice series to look at. Yeah, so this just came out. We're recording this in March. Just came out. I went there. I wanted to try it, and I really liked it, so I wanted to bring it. Yeah, and to tell us more about the beer, we have one of the co-founders and brewmasters at Tribus. He, Sebastian, gave us a little sound clip, and so let's take a look at what he has to say about Mango Peach Zazz.
Mango Peach Zazz is one of our fruited sour series. This one featuring mango and peach, always having lemon. It's a nice medium-bodied fruited sour, which does have lactose. This one obviously is going to have big notes of mango and peach and a nice zesty, lemony finish. Hope you enjoy.
There you go. So Sebastian, thanks a lot for taking the time telling us about the beer.
It's got lactose.
Yeah, a little lactose in it. Yeah, so
So if you're lactose intolerant,
not for you.
no.
Sorry, Joey.
Yeah, sorry. Joey.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so this is our second go around for Tribus, and so
Excuse me.
in that time I've become pretty close with the guys that work there and everyone that works there. So founded by three guys: Sebastian, Matt, and Sean. Hence the Try and Tribus.
Oh, okay.
They homebrewed for 7 years before opening the brewery. Sebastian and Matt are the brewmasters, and Sean is the business manager and head of sales. I talk to Sean a lot. He's on the floor a lot when I'm there, and I talk to some of the other guys like the shift managers, things like that. Yeah, just a great staff. I mean, everyone over there, really cool. So if you're in the Milford area, go check them out. And they're always constantly rotating the beers. They have a really cool toasted almond alt beer. It's called alt beer.
What is an alt beer?
Yeah, good thing I didn't pick it. I almost picked that
To be
one.
honest with you, I don't even know if I'm allergic to almonds. I'm
Yeah.
just allergic to something with tree nuts, and I'm not sure which one. So I just
okay.
steer clear of all of them because
Not a big nut fan?
I'm not a big nut fan.
You don't like nuts in your mouth?
No,
No?
not a fan of nuts in my mouth. No.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, not toasted almond. Toffee.
Oh.
Toffee, amber, balanced. It's kind of like a German, and alt beer is a perfect balance of flavor and drinkability.
Interesting.
Almost brought that one because it was just so different and so tasty, but I ended up going with this. Maybe I'll bring the other one to another episode.
All right. Yeah. No, we have a good Tribus podcast.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah. From the Tribus ones you brought, they've both been pretty good. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to try out some more of their stuff now.
Well, I think everyone's got their home brew. Like
Yeah,
you're
with Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor
Yep.
guy. I'm a Tribus guy. But yeah, no, I'm glad you like it. And
Sweet.
I think as you sip it, it's tastier too. So.
Yeah, as I'm getting more used to it as I drink a little bit.
Yeah.
It's an interesting sour because I think that lemon is such a strong flavor.
Yeah.
That when you first
You ever have one of those airborne drinks where you put the tablet in the thing?
Emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like that.
I know what you're talking about.
But in the good way.
It's
Yeah.
that first initial lemon hit is so strong that it
Yeah.
takes a second to go, what's going on here? It almost hits you almost like an orange juice and toothpaste, bam.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. A couple more sips in, it starts to
Yeah.
Right. Well, once
a little
that
friendlier with the palate.
once that
Yeah.
tartness, I think, is established in your
Yep.
mouth, then the other flavors
she said.
are a little more prominent.
Yeah. They
it is.
they become a bit more complimentary.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Cool.
Cool layering.
Yeah, so this is one of my, favorite drinks right now.
Cool.
And I figured it was, a good beer to feature on...
Great beer at 9:45 in the morning.
Yeah,
Start with.
9:45, nice
That's what
fruity.
we started
fruit
with.
juice.
It, so, yeah.
But we're pairing it with an album from my list that Tom chose.
Yes.
Temple of the Dog.
By.
Temple of the Dog.
Yes.
Yes. Self-titled, only album.
Was
Yep.
we know? Was this meant to be just a one and done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Basically, they made the band, which was multiple bands combined.
yeah, so it came out in 1991, 10 tracks long. It was formed by Chris Cornell, the singer, when his roommate Andrew Wood, who was the lead singer of a band called Mother Love Bone back in that time, he died. So it was kind of like a tribute band. They had no expectations. They weren't going to do a lot. And they just formed the band. So it was Chris on vocals, and then you had Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament on guitar and bass, respectively. They were in Mother Love Bone, but then eventually became part of Pearl Jam. Then the Temple of the Dog was also Mike McCready on lead guitar, who also joined Pearl Jam afterwards. And then the drummer was Matt Cameron, who at the time was Soundgarden's drummer, who obviously played with Chris Cornell. And then later in like 98, Cameron ended up joining Pearl Jam when their drummer left. So it's just this mixture. And then you had Eddie Vedder on backing vocals on Hunger Strike. So you had
That's who that was.
Yeah. So you had these 6 guys on the same album, really before Soundgarden and definitely before Pearl Jam got big and reached their prime. So it was just awesome to have these 6 guys on the same record. And it's kind of like a supergroup, like in hindsight, though. Like now that they're so prominent, it's like, oh my God, these guys were all together.
They were a supergroup before they were a normal group.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But even back then, it wasn't a supergroup because they weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't as popular.
They were like a prequel.
It was like, I was trying to come up with a name for it, like a
Prequel.
prequel supergroup. Yeah.
And what's funny is that I was listening to the album, I was kind of realizing like some of the songs in the latter half sounded like Pearl Jam songs, just without Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
The entire album is like so 90s grunge.
Oh yeah.
But it's like almost even before 90s grunge took off, like with those bands. It's just, that's all you hear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid when you have 6 of the pillars of of the genre on the same record, that it kind of ushered in the era.
Yeah, and it was released like smack dab in the middle of like right when grunge was at like its peak almost.
Yeah,
right in the early to mid 90s, or it was in 91, I think.
Yeah, it came out in 91.
Oh, yeah, so it was a little bit early, but
but yeah, so I always thought this would be a good album to talk about. It's definitely not my favorite album. There's some songs on it that are like, all right, not as good. But the songs that are good are great, I think.
I felt like it was, I don't know, I felt like the first half was, I say the first 5 songs, so the first half just, like, that was the album. And then after that, it kind of just sounded so similar, in my opinion. Like, the second half, until you got to the last song, I thought was, like, kind of
Yeah.
You got your 2 big singles right there in the first 3
songs.
3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like they blew their load early.
I was just gonna say
and then they're just kind of like cuddled the rest of the time.
Yeah, right. And the last song is them like calling the cab.
Yeah.
And go,
And I'll be honest, I love the last song. I thought the last song was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was different.
And I just feel like, but 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
they were all kind of interchangeable, forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to see an album start so high and then just kind of go down so quickly, because even on like a mediocre album, like it'll just be kind of like tilted a little bit less. This one, I love Say Hello to Heaven. That's such a great song.
Oh yeah,
it's probably my favorite song on the album. I mean, easily to say like number 1.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong if you call it that. I mean it's such a killer song.
Interesting how they put the number in there. Say Hello
So
to Heaven.
Yeah,
like
right.
the
It's
number two.
Like
not-
nothing compares to you.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Maybe that's what
Another
they're going
great
for.
cover Chris Cornell did.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah,
Nothing
that's
Compares
right.
to You, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
really good.
Cool.
Yeah, because everyone, I mean, obviously Prince wrote it.
Yeah.
And then
Sinead
O'Connor
O'Connor
was like the big cover of it. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, Chris Cornell does the best version.
Yeah,
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
take a look at that. It's unreal.
yeah,
So,
definitely. But Say Hello to Heaven was actually the second single. which-
long song for a single,
surprised.
too.
Yeah.
6:22.
Well, again,
Doesn't sound long, though.
it doesn't. No, it's an
It
easy
goes
listen.
quick. my
But
opinion.
something for them, these guys, this band, this collection of guys, they didn't have really any expectations.
No.
They weren't going anywhere with this band. They weren't trying to make it. So it's not like they had to fit a mold or anything. So I think that's why the album was so kind of downward sloping towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just, these are the songs they wrote, and, you know, they did it for that guy Andrew, and that's it. And then after the album came out, Soundgarden's Bad Motorfinger came out, and Pearl Jam's 10 came out. And
Yep. Nothing
there you
happened.
go. I mean, yeah, so it was just more of a passion project, it seemed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Exactly.
and like you said, it was meant for, you know, as a tribute. It's a great first song to, like, kind of throw out there as a tribute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they put that album out in literally the year after because it says right here that Andrew Wood died on March 19th of 90, and this album released on April 16th of 91.
Right.
They didn't waste any time.
Oh,
Like,
wow,
they
yeah.
didn't.
thought, did, and moved on.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty quick. And you know, again, for something quick like that, yeah, this wasn't a bad album.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Going into that second song, though,
Reach Down.
I don't know.
It had its parts.
Yeah.
I like the chorus, the vocals on the chorus, like the backing vocals, the higher register, kind of
Yeah.
has a Alice in Chains kind of vibe vocally.
Well, you can
for me.
hear that just from the guitar riff. It's kind of like that
see that,
dirty,
yeah.
brown, now,
The darker,
now.
Yeah.
I don't know. The guitar riff was okay. I personally did not like the vocals in this song. I just thought they were kind of, I don't know, like they just threw them in.
I didn't mind them. It just wasn't as good as they could have been, you know?
Yeah.
And I consider this song to be a better song to, like, drive to. Because,
Yeah.
granted, it is a little bit longer.
It's like
A
11
little bit.
minutes.
It's
Yeah.
11 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Especially as track 2, like that early in the
Yeah.
album.
Yeah,
Surprised
exactly.
they did that.
And in between their two biggest singles,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So I get it. It's not... Obviously, you're going to compare it to those two just because they're so close.
Right.
But, I mean, I wasn't too upset with it. I enjoyed
It
it.
dragged too much for me.
Yeah,
That's what it did.
It didn't benefit by being that long.
Right. Well, the extended solo, you know,
Yeah.
during that section, it could have been reduced, and it still could have had the same vibe, you know, the same
Yeah.
kind of jammy vibe, but didn't
'Cause
have
it's
to
a
be
very-
11 minutes.
It's a very kind of like drag song to begin with, just between the riff, the drums.
Yeah.
You know, it's the vocals. Everything kind of just rolls along.
Yeah.
And then you do that for 11 minutes. It makes it seem even longer.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh my. I looked at it. I was listening the other day. I had it in my headphones, and I looked for a second. And I was like, oh. I've been listening to this for 7 minutes. I still had 4 more to go.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
You're like, wait a
and I
minute.
ended up just next. I
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah,
continue.
if you're gonna listen to it again, I'd probably skip it after like 3 minutes
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's still a good song that has its merits, but I think you can. It would be better to drive to because you just kind of lose track of time
Yeah,
when you're
you
doing that.
zone out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it benefits. But if that's its benefits for an album, especially in a review format, then that's not a good thing.
No.
Yeah, right.
And,
So.
and like you said, it's the second song between
Right.
the two biggest singles. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, again, they had no expectations. This was a project for fun. Like, I get that. But, oof,
Yeah.
oof, that's all I got to say with this song.
You just gotta say oof.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, we are 2 minutes. I'm 2.5 minutes into this song right now, and it's the first guitar solo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's a slow one. It picks up in
The tempo is
yeah, I don't know. It just drags too much for me.
slower. Yeah.
Bit the crowd up.
But then it,
Yeah.
you know, picks right back up with another, you know, great song, Hunger Strike. This is the first single, and
Yes.
this is the song that It's a duet between Cornell
So cute.
and what's that?
So cute.
Yeah, so cute. Cornell and Eddie Vedder. So cool story about this. When I did some research, Eddie Vedder at the time was flying from San Diego to, I guess, Seattle or Washington.
Whales, vagina.
Yes. San Diego.
I believe it's.
So Vedder was auditioning for this band called Mookie Blaylock with Gossard and Amen and I guess McCready, but that band ended up renaming themselves as Pearl Jam. So Eddie Vedder was in the area to audition for that band, having never been in a band ever, and became during the Temple of Dog sessions. Cornell was having problems figuring out his voice on this song because he's more of a higher end guy, and he couldn't figure out how to put his voice on the lower register, but he had it in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, Eddie Vedder comes in and just sings and fills in the gaps just as a placeholder. Cool. And Cornell was like, "You did exactly what I wanted."
So he did this before he was in Pearl Jam.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Which is what fascinates me, because I do like '90s music.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big Nirvana guy, but I do like Soundgarden. I do like Pearl Jam. I like the era. And just to kind of hear those stories of how like all this was kind of bubbling up before it actually exploded was really cool. So what you hear on the song is what the duet that came to be.
Nice.
Which is
That's
really
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on Genius looking at this song that Hunger Strike, and there's actually a nice quote from Chris Cornell about this song where he's talking about how it didn't really feel like a Soundgarden song, so he didn't really pursue it. But then he said, Hunger Strike came about because of an existential crisis that Soundgarden faced at that moment. We were sort of the first band from Seattle that had attention from labels in meaningful ways. There was a bidding war, which was unusual for any band from Seattle. We were living our dream, but there was also mistrust over what that meant. Does that make us a commercial rock band? Does it change our motivation when we're writing a song and making a record? And he says, Hunger Strike is a statement that I'm staying true to what I'm doing, regardless of what comes of it. But I will never change what I'm doing for the purpose of success or money, which I think is really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially at the time, when that scene was just starting to rise up.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
I mean, Soundgarden was kind of the band to start the genre. They kind of ushered in all the other ones.
Yeah, laid down the piping for like Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
Yeah, for
obviously.
sure.
Which I think is really cool.
Awesome.
And it doesn't hurt that it's a really good song too.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
And then I gotta say, I like the tempo of Pushing Forward Back, the next song.
Yeah.
It kind of picks up.
Love it. Nice. I enjoy the 7/8 timing.
Yeah.
7/8.
Yeah, right? It's so good. Great riff, good energy.
Yes. Classic Cornell vocals, kind of that push towards the end of his.
Pushing forward
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Interesting title, Pushing Forward Back.
Well, right.
But
Maybe it means they don't want to go too far too quickly.
No, but it's cool, the
right.
way it talks and.
Yep. This kind of has more of a Soundgarden vibe because of the 7/8.
Shortest song on the album.
That's
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh.
3:44.
Yeah. I like how the ending, like it ends, but then it like kicks back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah, it was good. Big fan of this song. This is the third single.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I like tracks that have weird time signatures like this because I mentioned on Reach Down, you can kind of zone out to it and you can still like, whatever. This one I feel like you have to listen and pay attention a bit more to fully understand how good the song is.
Right.
Killswitch did that on one of their newer songs. It's off their newest album, their newest album. They have a 7/8 song, and it's just like you listen to it, and you're just you really have to listen to it because you can't just clap along to 4/4.
Yeah.
It's like going into the intro of Times Like These.
Yeah, right. Right. 7/8. Yeah. So if you're not into music, you're conditioned to know 4/4.
Yeah.
And a song like this
It's
comes
cool.
on, you know, you gotta.
I mean, we
catch
talked
yourself.
about in the band, like it was always between you and me on the guitar riff and the drums. Are we doing 7/8? Or are we gonna make it add an extra beat for 4/4 because
Yeah.
everybody else was confused?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Exactly.
It's just it's fun.
Yeah.
it's fun because it challenges you.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
makes you think outside the box.
Yep, for sure.
Um,
But it works with the song. You know,
Yes.
it doesn't sound like it's odd at all.
Well, the funny part too is I find when you get a song in a weird time, like a different time signature as a musician to listen to, sometimes I don't even notice, like I just naturally go with the song. And like don't even notice it's in a different time signature until I have to think about it. Whereas like someone who's a little bit more, I guess less musically inclined will realize like they can't clap along to it or they'll be kind of confused. But like I listened to this. It took me like 2 times through. I realized, oh, it's a different time. Like because I was just
Yeah.
jamming to it, and like the time signature didn't throw me off because it was just kind of natural to go with
Right,
it.
you kind of caught on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just love the intense energy they have all over this.
For sure.
And
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah, the song doesn't have a down point.
no, not at all.
Suppose.
And I would say for a majority of the album, Cornell's vocals just shine above pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And especially on this track, I feel like that's like the biggest like focal point
Yeah.
of this track.
Yeah.
I agree, Tom. I think, you know, this has Cornell's stamp all over it. I mean,
definitely.
his vocals are just amazing, you know,
Yeah.
and they continue to be for years to come.
I
you
will
know, after
always
this.
say that he's one person that I'm glad I got to see live.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you see
I
him?
saw him with Audio Slave.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Audio
I
Slave.
saw him with Audio
first
Slave.
album
That
by
first
them.
album's great. We
Yeah.
got to do that at some point. But that first album, it was for the WCCC. It was their 30th anniversary, and they did like a show at the Xfinity
Oh, cool.
in Hartford, and it was Audio Slave was the headliner, and then there was 30 Seconds to Mars, and Seether.
Oh.
There might have been another band or two. So
sorry.
Seether, I will always say this. I know we're a little off topic here, but Seether is like not a great band that makes very catchy songs.
Yeah.
Like me and Trevor, who's been on the podcast a few times, we always talk about how like Five Finger Death Punch is a really good band that writes shitty music.
Right.
Their covers are great,
Yeah.
but they can't write their own songs to save their lives.
Right.
Seether's the opposite. I don't think Seether's a very talented band, but they write super catchy tunes, and
Yeah.
you hear them and you're like, wow, this isn't a great song, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's just strange. He also went into rehab, Sean Morgan, like a week after I saw him, so he wasn't at the top of his game.
Yeah. Makes sense.
30 Seconds to Mars, I didn't quite appreciate at the time. I didn't listen to them enough and appreciate them for what they were, but he did put on a great show, and Jared Leto's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
You know, he was running around in I think he was wearing a white tuxedo or
Yeah.
a white suit the whole time, and,
and back
out
then they
running in the aisles
That's
like
crazy.
while he was singing.
Yeah.
Like,
weird.
think about that. Like,
Yeah.
I remember Dragon Force. I
Yeah.
saw one time, and the singer was
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, I saw that the singer was from You to Me,
Really?
and I was like 2 sections back. He just came up and he was just singing.
Oh.
It was like, but back when people did that shit, it was
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. that is
But
cool.
Chris Cornell, he did his acoustic set, like in the middle of 3 or 4 songs. He played Redemption Song by Bob Marley, like some of his
Cool.
staples. Unreal, just
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Yeah.
Tom Morello on his guitar,
Oh.
shining the light, and just
Ugh,
it was just a show.
that's
I'll
cool.
never forget.
that's awesome.
Call Me a Dog is
Call me a dog.
Yes. Funny story about this song.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a Temple of the Dog song
Mhm.
because, as stating, I'm a big Chris Cornell fan, and he has a Live in Sweden album where he was in Sweden. He went to a bar and he just played an acoustic show. And even in you can only find it on YouTube. It's not on any streaming service.
Okay.
It's a 40-something minute set of him just playing acoustic. And does some Elvis Costello song, Peace, Love, and Understanding. He does a whole bunch of weird,
Okay.
like different things. Michael Jackson, he does his Billie Jean
Yeah.
cover. He plays this song on it, and I've listened to that a million times, and I was like, man, I love this song, love this song, love this song. And then listening to the album, realized, oh shit, it's Temple of the Dog. It's not. I just thought it was like Chris Cornell,
Oh,
or maybe
okay.
it was a cover.
Yeah.
I never like quite made the connection that he's actually playing,
Yeah.
Temple of the Dog song.
Yeah, this seemed like it became a staple for him
Yeah.
to play whenever he played like
Yup.
solo or acoustic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He has a solo album that's live, and he plays some Temple of the Dog, but this is one that he
Yeah.
plays on there. And I fucking love this song.
Yeah, it's a slower song. It's
Yeah.
more like a ballad, but it's so soulful.
Yeah, definitely. I could see now, in retrospect, how this could be a better solo acoustic song. Just because it is on the slower side compared to the rest of the songs in the album. But you can definitely see how it could be translated into just, one solo acoustic. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the yang to pushing forward back's yin, if you will.
Yeah.
Literary devices.
I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love whenever we like flex a little bit. We always have to support it. Like, literary devices.
Listen. Boys support boys. You gotta support you gotta get your boys back.
Rose before home.
That's it.
They I like how they brought that. I think they brought a piano in for this one too. Like in the beginning, sounds like it.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
There's a little bit of piano on this album.
It at least it builds up near the back half of the track.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty ambitious to incorporate different kinds of instrumentation stuff from just straight up guitar, bass, classic grunge stuff. Throwing in a piano track is cool, especially for the time.
Me and Joe are currently sharing audio through AirPods.
Yes.
And I actually just switched over to the live at Queen Elizabeth Theater, Call Me the Dog version, which is acoustic.
Yeah.
And it's so
Is it?
it's so much better.
That's pretty
Just,
cool.
I don't know. I feel like the vocals in his live acoustic version of this song, just as we were just stating, flex so much more than the tempo.
Like Tom was saying,
Yeah.
it serves better.
Call Me a Dog is hands down probably my favorite song on this album. I love it because I've heard it so much before the album.
Yes.
It's my
Other
sleeper. I
places.
mean, I'll just be honest. It's just one of those, like, you didn't notice it was there. But I also prefer other versions of it to
Than
the
this
one on
one.
the album. I think the album version is probably the worst version of it. Like, it's
Okay.
just...
Yeah.
The band doesn't need to be there. It just needs to be Chris Cornell on the guitar.
Yeah.
And that song is just amazing.
Then
Cool.
what's next? Times of Trouble.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is the one that I thought was very Pearl Jam inspired.
Yes.
Like if you sang this with Eddie Vedder's like, it's like, oh, that's Pearl
Yeah.
Jam.
Yeah. At this point in the album, this is kind of where it
Yeah.
almost ends for me.
Yeah.
There's maybe a song or two more that I liked, but nowhere near how much I like the beginning part.
Yeah. This is the tipping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only song after this that I really do enjoy is I like All Night, All Night Thing. I don't know what it is about that song. It's just something catchy for me.
Yeah, it's different.
I don't know if it's the chord progression. I don't know. Something about it's just a catchy tune. I really do like that song.
Yeah. But for Times of Trouble, I like the piano. The piano was a cool addition to it. The harmonica later on was kind of cool, but it was just kind of like an song.
Well, we're 30 seconds in. I'm already bored, so.
Yeah.
Well, then, Wouldn't Jesus ain't gonna do it for you,
Yeah.
bro. Because that song, I can't stand this song.
Honestly, other than, like Times of Trouble, Wooden Jesus, Your Savior, and Four Walled World, I have nothing to say.
No.
I do like
Which
Your
is-
Savior.
Okay.
The guitar riff kind of reminds me of like a Chili Pepper song.
I do like
which
the
is kinda
percussion
cool
at
for
the
time.
beginning of Wooden Jesus. They got some different
Yeah.
percussion in there, but again, if that's the highlight,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had some things about all night thing.
Yes, so I like how they come in kind of with the brushes,
Yeah.
and I don't know, something about his maybe it's his vocals, because he
Yeah.
kind of belts a little bit more in like a ballady form. I think he's got a great voice for that.
More
Kinda-
like a serenade.
Yeah, I like the drums in it, just that, it's just different.
Simple.
Yeah, it's simple, it's different. And that chord progression and I know being a vocalist, maybe you can, and music theory and everything you've taken, maybe you have a little more on it. Something in the chorus, there's like a it's almost like a half step. I don't know what it is, but it's just really catchy for me. It drops down just the way the chords in the chorus.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
And
I like the organ.
yeah, the organ. Do you hear what I'm saying though? Like
Kind
it's
of.
a weird chord progression. Like it doesn't sound like it should work almost, but it does.
Yeah. That's not really a half step, but
No.
I don't know what that is.
Whether it's just like a minor chord or the way they're playing that chord,
Yeah, there's something about it.
it's different. And I don't know what it is, but it catches my ear every time. And then you throw his vocals over it, and he belts out in that chorus, and just, I don't know, something like about that just really catches my attention. I don't know because it's different, or it almost is something that sounds like it shouldn't work, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That really gets me for this song, and it was the only pick me up in the bottom half of the album for me.
I just thought it was kind of boring for me,
It
to be
is,
honest.
but I like it. I don't know why. I'm agreeing with you. Like, it is. It's a boring song, but something about it's just catchy. I don't know.
Is it Seether? Seether write this?
It is. It's just a difference. I don't know why. Of all the songs, this one I was like, it's definitely not one of my favorites. It's not a top song for me. But just something about it. It's like boring. It's weird. I like it. I don't know why.
Sure. And that's
Listen to me, don't listen to me. Prestige worldwide.
Don't lose your dinosaur.
Yeah.
And
there you
then
go.
there was a deluxe version of this album.
Oh,
2016.
we did not do that.
Are you sure? Because I mean, it's
Is it pretty similar?
11, 12, and 13 is a Say Hello to Heaven, Wooden Jesus All Night Thing mixed by Adam Casper.
Yeah, the alternate mix.
Then the Super Deluxe Edition, Disc 2, is demos and outtakes of every song.
Yep.
And there's
Instrumental
Angel on
demos.
Fire and Black Cat.
Oh yeah.
2 songs that didn't exist. Instrumental for Times of Trouble, because, if it wasn't boring enough. And then the Super Deluxe Edition Disc 3 is a DVD.
That would be
Must be a
cool.
live
I would
thing.
watch that.
That's got 16 songs. Hunger Strike at a completely different place. The Super Deluxe Edition Disc 4,
Oh my lord.
Blu-ray 5.1 audio.
Oh, Blu-ray.
They went up.
Now we're talking.
And it's literally just the same thing, but Blu-ray audio.
Okay.
The Dolby surround.
That's like
Yeah,
cutting
so-
edge technology right now.
It is.
Yeah.
My laser disc. Out of date. Dude, when I was in middle school, they
Yeah.
still had those. You remember?
Weren't those like the really big
fuck
ones?
yeah.
It looked like a
Like albums.
record on steroids. See how it plays it a second
That's
time?
weird it plays it a second time.
Just does that, and then,
Huh. Interesting.
it is.
Well, there you go.
I guess that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that's
the album.
Oh shit,
Wow.
babe. Snap, babe.
All right, Joseph, it was your album,
Yes.
so why don't you start us off with your favorite song?
Okay. Wow, Mike. I taking the reins there. I like it.
I had to. I remembered something.
My favorite song was Hunger Strike.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Say Hello to Heaven. I love Pushing Forward Back. But Hunger Strike, just because of who's on it, Eddie Vedder is on it, the band, who it is, I just love it. I'll always listen to that song. That's my favorite song on the album, Hunger Strike.
Cool.
Tom?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll go counterclockwise.
Wow.
We're
look
just
at this
changing
clock.
shit up,
Damn.
Yeah. I went
that
with
Buster.
Say Hello to Heaven.
Yeah.
It's the first song that I ever knew from them. I've got a little bit of connection with it because we performed it live, and it's just a beautiful track.
It is.
And especially to start an album off with,
yeah.
you can't
Such a
start
strong
much better
start.
than that.
You
so.
can't go wrong. I mean,
Yeah, it's it's one of the slower tracks, but it still has really solid rock and grunge elements. That solo near the end, those soul wrenching, touching lyrics. It's really cool, and especially because the band started as a tribute to this guy Andrew, the song to kind of reflect that is
And like you said,
mirrors
I mean,
perfectly. Yeah.
That connection of, my cousin passed away and we played a show the day before after his birthday, which is also now my kid's birthday. And, we played this song, just me and you, and it's just such a great song. It really is.
Yeah.
And like you said, for an album, this entire album was dedicated to, his roommate from Mother Love Bone, the lead singer, and to open up with Say Hello to Heaven,
Yeah.
I don't know. That could have been the album. Just repeat that song 10 times.
Yeah,
There's
right.
the album.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my favorite as well.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
Um,
How about your bottom, Mike?
Number 2, Reach Down.
Yeah.
I feel like if Alice in Chains played that song and it was 3 minutes long, I'd actually like it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I don't know, just I didn't feel like Cornell's vocals fit well with it. I literally felt like it was Alice in Chains, stretch it, and then throw Cornell on vocals. It just didn't work for me. There was too much not going right. And then you add the fact that it's 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Like I said, I was 7 minutes in, and I was on like my third guitar solo, and I was just like, I still have 4 more minutes. I just can't. I don't know. It was just... Again, maybe if it was a 3-4 minute song, it would have had a little bit more, firing power for me.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it never ended. It was a slow tempo song.
Yeah.
And then slow tempo, long. There just wasn't enough.
So you're saying you didn't like it?
There just wasn't enough
Got
there
it.
to be an 11-minute song.
Got it. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I agree with you with a lot of that.
Yeah.
My least favorite track was Wooden Jesus. I just found it annoying. There were a lot of like effects in there that I played it in my car, and there was this like clicking sound in the verse. I legit thought something was wrong with my car.
That's the worst.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
I don't know. I just didn't like the song, so that was it.
Yeah, honestly, you could put 7, 8, or 9 in there. Wooden Jesus, Your Savior, or Four Walled World.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for any of those. It was so disappointing to hear the B-sides to this album just be so disappointing. Because but with the A side being so like solid and having some underrated tracks I didn't really know about, and the B side just being so bland and forgettable, it was just very disappointing. So I could put any of those 3. Times of Trouble was okay, and All Night Thing was alright as well, but any of those 3.
Gotcha.
But my sleeper, I'm gonna go with Pushing Forward Back. I really enjoy the 7/8 timing. Yeah. It really was a shake-up from the other tracks on this. You kind of put more thought into it as you're listening. I honestly thought it had a bit more of like a West Coast rock style influence, just being a bit more brighter and less tortured than the rest of the sounds on this album, and it was a bit more punchier, and I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nice. So my sleepy dark horse was Call Me a Dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I actually heard this song as a solo acoustic Chris Cornell song before I had listened to this album. Because I'd heard the main songs off this album before, but I'd never actually listened to the whole album. And I heard Call Me a Dog. I'm like, I know this song. Mm-hmm. Why do I know this song? And then I realized how much he plays it acoustic. I do enjoy other versions of it where it's just him and a guitar, not as much as this one with the full band. But it's like a very passionate song. Like he just belts it out. It's just I don't know. You don't expect it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I really like that one.
I also chose Pushing Forward Back. I love that song. It is a single, so I kind of feel weird choosing it as my sleeper dark horse, but I think it's the single that it's the third single.
Yeah.
You don't hear it as often as Hunger Strike and Say Hello to Heaven. If I had to pick a legit sleeper song that you might not hear unless you listen to the album, I think I would choose Your Savior. I like the Chili Pepper vibe from it, like I said earlier, but I'm sticking with Pushing Forward Back. It's a great song. I too enjoy the 7/8 timing. Mm-hmm. But I didn't list Say Hello to Heaven. Love that song too. I mean, it just didn't list it. But yeah, so there you go. Okay, let's rate it, boys. Temple of the Dog, self-titled. How many bops?
So I picked it from your list.
Yes.
So does that mean I start with the
Sure.
review?
Yeah, go ahead. Start. Since
All right.
it appealed to you,
All right. So 10 tracks. I really only fell in love with maybe 2 or 3 of them. Honestly, I was pretty disappointed with the album in entirety. I'm stuck probably between a 2 and a 2.5. Honestly, the B-sides didn't really live up to what they should have been. The only really amazing songs for me were the singles, including Pushing Forward Back and the 2 before then. But it did have its moments. I do love Say Hello to Heaven and Hunger Strike, obviously. I really enjoy the messaging that I had behind them. Cornell's vocals across the whole thing are just vintage Cornell. And you can't really replace that. He's such a talented singer. But yeah, I'm probably stuck between a 2 and a 2.5. Just didn't. I wish it was better than it was, but
Yeah.
you know.
I'm at a 2.5. You
Okay.
know, and the reason I picked a 2.5 was because I would say there were 5 songs I liked and 5 songs that I could have done without.
Yeah.
You know, take Reach Down out and put in All Night Thing, which I know is kind of a song, but I just, for whatever reason, like it. You know, those were my 5, 1 through 5, swapping those two. Like,
Okay.
and then the rest of them are, like you said, forgettable. You put this album on in the background. You know, the first half you're listening to, the second half you're doing something else.
Yeah.
And so, just half the album was good, so 2.5.
Yeah.
There you go.
I gave it a little bump up. I'm at a 3, based purely because of the story of the band, and you know, for fans of the genre, it's kind of a hidden gem in that '90s grunge era. That if you're a fan of it, you should listen to, because it features some of the most iconic musicians of the genre all on one album before their prime, which I just thought was a really cool concept, and it's awesome that they all became really popular after this album. So, yeah, I'm at a 3. I mean, there's definitely some clunker songs on there. You know, definitely skip them, but I just think for the story alone, it's worth a listen. Plus the singles, the really popular songs are fantastic. So yeah, cool.
What are you feeling on Tribus's Mango Peach Zazz?
So this is my beer. Should I start?
You might as well.
So I'm giving it a 4. I really enjoy it. This was my favorite out of the Zazz line. But as I said earlier, Tribus, they do really great sours and just really great beers all around. So check them out again. But this one in particular, 4. Really like the flavor mix.
Nice. So as I have said on every single episode we've done a sour on,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of sours.
Yeah.
And so, but this one was different. I enjoyed this one. It had a bit more fruity flavor to it, and I think that overpowered a lot of the, as we like to say, throw up flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at probably around a 3 or so on this.
Yeah.
It really brought out those textures, and I enjoyed that a lot.
I'm gonna be with Tom on this one. It's a 3. It was a good beer. I liked it. I don't know if I could have a lot of them. That lemon really does hit you, you know, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. But it's not an overpowering sour in general. I mean, it's got a good flavor to it. It's different.
Yeah.
That mango peach is definitely a different flavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3. I'd drink it again.
Yeah. Sweet. Great.
Ooh.
All right. Let's shout them out. So, Tribus Beer Co. on Instagram, Tribus Beer Co. TribusBeer.co is their website. As I said, always rotating their beers, coming out with new ones, canning, you know, some of their most popular ones. So go check them out. Yeah, great brewery to go to as well.
Yeah, I've had a good time there the couple times we went.
Yeah, for sure. And then Temple of the Dog. So they actually
Currently on tour. No.
Yeah, right. They actually do have an Instagram. It has a blue check and everything, but it's more of a Chris Cornell kind of tribute account.
Yeah. Makes sense.
They do have templeofthedog.com, though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
And what is on that?
An error 405 message.
Gotta love it.
No, it's basically just selling like 25th anniversary editions,
Gotcha.
cassettes, and
Yeah.
used to do like tour venues, but
Yeah.
Shit, it's
So-
30 years now from that album, right?
yeah, because
It'll be
that was in
30.
2016.
It'll be
91?
Just before this airs, will be 30 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's true.
That's
Wow.
cool.
So we hit Rush's 40th anniversary of Moving Pictures.
Yeah.
And
This is
song-
30. And then a later episode, we'll be talking about a certain System of a Down album. This is the 20th anniversary of that album.
Jeez.
So we're really hitting a milestone this year, 2021.
We're doing the anniversaries.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I mean, Temple of the Dog, just look up the albums
Yep.
there. Cool.
Sweet.
So, all right. So next episode, we're going to continue our Yankee Swap mini-series here.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, I picked an album from Mike's album list.
First live album.
It is our first live
Yes.
album, and I've chosen. It's called "Try"
Yes.
by the John Mayer Trio,
Yes.
which I've been listening to a lot of my life, and I thought it'd be a great album to talk about.
Yeah, we've never done John Mayer.
No,
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty popular, and
Yeah.
we've never done a live album.
Yeah.
And this was a great combo of that.
yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
And what beer did you pick for
And
it?
I went with a local brewery,
Yes.
Stony Creek, and I chose Dock Time, which is their amber ale. Something a little different for us, but classic for them.
Yeah, it's
So,
one of their most
staples.
populars. Yeah, one of their staples for sure. Cool. So a little Stony Creek, little John Mayer. Next
little
episode.
Connecticut
A little
day.
Connecticut
Oh,
action
yeah.
coming at you. Yeah. Yeah. Fairfield Zone.
Oh,
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Cool. All right. So let's look forward to that. Our thanks to Temple of Dog and Tribus and Sebastian from Tribus too for giving us that little info about
Yes.
the beer. Make sure you're streaming us if you like what you hear. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your moms for Tom, and
Moms for Tom.
Moms for Tom.
That sounds like a
It's like Toys for Tots.
yeah.
Or Cars for
Sounds
Kids.
like a charity.
Moms for Tom. That's got to be a thing. But yeah, Hops and Bops podcast streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Hit us up on Instagram and Facebook. For Mike and Tom, I'm Joe. We'll see you next episode.
Peace.